welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we are going to give you a wide-ranging tips to get ready for back to school. I know some parents aren't ready, some kids aren't ready, and even some teachers aren't ready, but it is around the corner. My guest is Diana Gulotta from the school system. Welcome.
Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
Back to school time is both daunting and exciting. You know, people have such mixed feelings about it.
I know some people want to send their students back because they've been in their house all summer, and so they established this whole new appreciation for teachers, I'm sure. But it is an exciting time, but it is daunting. But there are a few things that parents can do to feel a little bit better. Of course, if they're new to our division and haven't registered yet, that's something that they would need to do this summer, and our schools are open.
Yes.
To do that.
Good.
And if they go to our website, they can see all of the needed items that they'll have to provide to enroll. So that'll help for a smooth transition that first day. Also, the back to school, the school supplies, that information is posted on our website, and I know some kids really enjoy doing all of that shopping.
Boy, some of them do. Some of them want no part of it.
Right.
My boys never really cared.
Yeah, mine
just
did.
Like, go do it, fine.
Yeah, mine did when they were younger, but the older they got, they were like, do we really have to have supplies? Can I just take a notebook and a pen? So I think as they get older, they're not as interested in it. And I know Shonda Epps is our Title I coordinator for family engagement. And I know that at the end of August, there is a SEEDS event, which is a family event for students attending Title I schools. And they are actually handing out backpacks full of school supplies. So I would encourage any of the parents of students who attend a Title I school, which is basically a school with a higher percentage of students on free and reduced lunch, for them to attend those events. I know some of the churches are having events like that as well. And so if there's a concern about paying for school supplies, there are several resources in Hampton to help with that.
That can be a lot all at once.
It can be expensive, absolutely.
So those back to school supplies, if you can, go out and get them, check the lists. But if you need some help, don't be shy about reaching out because there is help available.
Absolutely. The other thing is to make sure that students are current on their immunizations, which that's not a pleasant topic to talk about. Getting a shot, but for the various grade levels, there are requirements.
And don't wait until the last minute. Call your family doctor or the health department and get it taken care of because you might forget the middle school boosters. I mean, it's not just kindergartners.
Absolutely.
You need to keep current on those shots.
Absolutely, and that's a good point because I know sometimes that sneaks up on us. I know as a parent, it snuck up on me a couple of times, and then I was trying to get an appointment 3 days before school started. So
and they
don't wait.
You won't let the kids start unless they have. It's not just the shots; you have to have proof of the shot. So when you're like, oh, I did it, but I forgot to bring it in.
Right. So it's just very important to have all of that taken care of prior to starting.
Okay, so we're ready. We've gotten those basics taken care of. What else should we know as parents or to help our children?
Well, I think it's important, especially if you have a kindergarten student, to learn how to connect with your school and your school division. Because if you're a new parent, you may not have had to do that in the past. And as we know, the two-way communication is important for building relationships. And fortunately, in Hampton City Schools, we have quite a few ways for people to connect. Of course, social media is popular, and our school division has a great Facebook presence. And what's so wonderful about it is it's two-way communication. So we get messages through there, we get comments on there with questions where we can actually address it right there, sometimes on the weekend for parents. And then, of course, our Twitter account is very active, have about 2,300 followers, and try to push back to school information out on there, as well as good news items throughout the school year. I would encourage anyone who has an email address to go on our website and sign up for Email Extra. That is a weekly newsletter with not only good news about our schools, but also informational items, schedule pickup, the things needed.
Deadlines, when things are happening, testing is coming up. Those reminders that you as a parent need to know what your kid is going through.
And another thing that's very important is to make sure that all of your contact information is updated. We realize people move or change phone numbers, but sometimes they neglect to call the school. And so if there's an emergency, that creates a problem for us. And the other thing is with our auto dial system, which I'm sure when your sons were in school, you got those phone calls.
Sure.
You won't
need to
get
know
those.
Snow days or testing days or special events at the school. Sometimes, it depends on the age of your kid how well things make it home in the backpack. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're scrunched at the bottom, sometimes you don't see them. And to know that, back to school night and orientation nights are really important, I think, for getting kids plugged in, but also for getting parents plugged in.
Absolutely.
Because the teacher will give you usually his or her email address, phone number where you can leave a voicemail. Obviously, they can't pick up during school, but there's a lot of ways to get in touch with a teacher, and they'll give you all that right there. You'll meet them. The before school events, the open house events, the kids can see where their room is and just be a little less nervous when they walk in on that first day.
Absolutely. And I found as a parent of students in Hampton City Schools that email works best for most of the teachers.
That's what I found too.
And so if you can get those email addresses quickly, and one thing that I do is at the beginning of the school year, after I gather all those email addresses, I actually reach out and introduce myself to all of the teachers and say, this is my name, my son is so-and-so. If there's special issues with your child that you would like for the teachers to know, that's a great place to put that information, send it to the teachers and say, he's not the best at math, but you may want to try X, Y, and Z. So I do that the first week of school, reach out to my son's teachers, and they typically like that, and then they put it in their contacts and they have it for the whole school year. And then it just really helps the teacher in terms of keeping up with who is who and the different situations and who to contact when there's an issue. So I would encourage parents to do that as well.
I think that's a good idea. I had teachers, particularly in high school, say, I want you to email me and put this in the subject line and this in the thing. And then he or she, I forget who it was, could make lists. So they had little group lists of each class and knew how to find people and had it very well organized. Teachers are amazing.
Yes, they are. They are amazing.
So during the year, you guys have this Connect Ed thing and communicate with people that way.
And actually, we changed systems. We were with one company that actually provided the software for that, and as the contract expired, we began to look, as you know, we're all in a budget crunch these days, and so we began to look at the contract and actually went with a different company. And so our parents will hear a little bit different message this year. We're actually with School Messenger, and which is a very popular company for school divisions to use in terms of their automated calls. So parents will hear something a little bit different this year. It might sound a little bit different than it has in the past, but it's a great system. We're in the process right now of training all of our principals and the users to push that information out. So we're in a little bit of a transition, but what was exciting about that whole change in the software was not only did we save money, we also got a free mobile app. And so we are in the process right now, our graphics department and technology departments are in the process of designing a mobile app to push out there after school starts. So that's one more way to stay connected with us, is just right there on your phone, have information on Hampton City Schools and ways to communicate with us. So we're excited about that as well.
Now, you guys also have a tech way that we can keep up with our kids and make sure their grades are okay, they're turning in their assignments, things like that.
And that's through the parent portal, which is available on our website. And once the students enroll, the parents can work with the school on getting the username and password. And I found that very useful as well, because when I'm dealing with my sons and different homework assignments or grades, you can go in there and see, what's been turned in, what's been graded. It's just a pretty good real-time piece of information about your student. So I would hope that all of our parents, and actually we have a pretty high rate of parents using it, but I would love to see 100% of our parents using it.
And parents who don't have internet at home can go to the library, can go to community centers. There are places you can use a computer and have internet access, and then you just tell it, don't remember the password, nobody else can get in, but you really can go and check. Even if you check your kids' homework, that doesn't mean it's making it from the backpack to the teacher all the time. I found things weren't getting turned in. Oh, I forgot. I couldn't find it.
I've had times where I've actually provided the homework to the teacher myself because I don't know what happened to it between the house and school, but it just didn't get there. So
So there's that way. And I would also like to plug PTA meetings because, you know, statistically we find that parents are very involved in the early years and then drop out, as if those older kids and those schools don't continue to need parental support.
And we're very lucky here because we do have an active PTA council under the direction of Pam Kroom, and she's worked very hard with her executive board to help establish very strong local units at each of the schools. And you're right. I think once kids get to high school, they're not as excited about seeing mom or dad at the PTA meeting, and so some of that drops off. Plus, you know, we have folks who work 1, 2, 3 jobs, and it's just hard to get involved. So at minimum, join, because you will get additional emails and information from the PTA. So I would always encourage folks to get involved in the PTA. It's another great place, even if it's just a support group of other parents where, you know, you can just sit down, have coffee, and talk about some of the challenges in parenting. It's a great place to do that as well. But they also work very hard advocating on our behalf as far as the finances and some of the legislation that would impact schools. So we're very blessed to have them, and I would hope that parents would join their local PTA. Very important.
Okay, is there anything else that parents need to know?
Well, I would just like to say that as we start the new school year, we do have a new leader, and that's exciting.
This is exciting
very
for
exciting.
Hampton for this school year.
And of course, we miss Dr. Shiflett. She was here more than 40 years and did an excellent job, and she's enjoying.
It's a hard act to follow.
Yes, and she's enjoying her grandchildren.
Good for her.
Every day of the week, I think. So that's great. But we're excited to have Dr. Jeffrey Smith. He started a couple of weeks ago, and so hopefully parents, community members, business leaders will see him out and about the next several months as he does his Look, Listen, and Learn tour and try to learn really what Hampton's about and what the next steps are in moving our school division to the next level. So we're very excited.
Now, what is Look, Listen, and Learn? It sounds like something you would tell a student more than the superintendent, but he needs to learn too, right?
Absolutely. It's his transition plan for the first 90 to 100 days into our school system. What I really like about him is he has not come in and just said, okay, change everything or change this, change that. He knows that he needs to understand the community, understand the culture, understand our schools, our teachers, and he's learned that we have great staff. He's been very impressed with the teachers and other staff members that he's met. So he's really trying to look at the data, listen to people, and hear what Hampton City Schools is about. And it's good timing for us because we're working on our 2020 strategic plan. So I believe all of that will be connected together as we start developing action plans for the future. All of that information that he gathers will be key in putting that together. So we're very excited about that.
That's great. All right, so the superintendent is on a Look, Listen, and Learn tour, and we're going to put our parents on a Look, Listen, and Learn tour too. So they go to the school visit, go to the open house nights, go to the parent-teacher conference, learn what their kid is doing, and be prepared to be that support system for their child's education.
Absolutely, and join the PTA.
And join the PTA and stay involved. Don't just do this burst where you get the kid ready for school and you go to the first open night. Keep coming back, stay in touch with the parent, volunteer if you have time. Sometimes volunteering means baking something and sending it in. It doesn't mean that you have to be there during the day if your schedule doesn't allow that. But
absolutely,
stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Okay, and you'll come back and stay in touch with us so we continue to know what's going on in the school system.
Anytime.
Thank you, Diana. And thank you for watching. I hope back to school is an exciting time for you, even if it means change, and that you will follow these steps to get yourself and your child ready for school. Thanks for watching.